Hello and welcome. Okay, let's just dive right in, shall we? We're all on some kind of journey to get better at, well, something. Could be your job, a hobby, maybe even a personal goal. But you know as well as I do, that path is never, ever a straight line. Nope. It's full of bumps and stumbles and, of course, mistakes. So today, we're going to talk about how we handle those mistakes and how they actually shape our path to mastery. You know, the end goal, that ideal we're all chasing, it can be summed up with this one fantastic word, consummate. To be a consummate professional, a consummate musician, you name it. It just means being at the absolute highest level, incredibly skilled, complete in every single detail. It's the peak of the mountain we're all trying to climb. So, yeah, that's the destination. But the real question, the one that matters, is how do we actually get there? Because if you think that journey is just some smooth, error-free climb, well, you might be in for a little bit of a surprise. The reality is much, much messier. We all start out with this really noble goal, right? The pursuit of perfection. We want to be great, we want to succeed, and let's be honest, we want to do it fast. And then it happens. A mistake. You know that feeling, don't you? That immediate sinking sting right in your gut the second you realize something's gone wrong. And what's so wild is how universal that gut reaction is. It's never calm, cool analysis, is it? No, it's just pure emotion. We pout. We get angry either at ourselves or the situation. We feel that wave of sadness or disappointment wash over us. And we definitely get frustrated, especially when that little error becomes a giant roadblock, slowing down the very progress we're so desperate to make. And this just creates this huge internal battle, doesn't it? Your logical brain is just screaming, come on, move forward, keep going. But your emotional reality, it's something else entirely. We're just stuck in that loop of frustration, replaying the error over and over, which is, the exact opposite of moving forward. And this leads us to a really crucial insight. Maybe, just maybe, the problem isn't the mistake itself. Maybe the real issue here is that we're making a mistake about our mistakes. Because the real mistake that we make, the one that truly, truly holds us back, it isn't that typo or that wrong number or that missed turn. No, it's something much, much deeper. It's this right here, the mistake about mistakes. It's this belief that we're supposed to be robots, that we shouldn't feel that flash of anger or that frustration, or even worse, the belief that, hey, I've been doing this for a while, I should be past making these kinds of errors. We literally get mad at ourselves for getting mad. It's a crazy cycle. But what if we just flipped the scripts on that? What if those negative feelings aren't the problem at all? What if they're not a sign of weakness, but they're actually a signal? Yeah, think of it like a smoke alarm. It's loud, it's annoying, for sure, but it's yelling at you to pay attention because something needs to be addressed. Okay, so how do we answer that signal? This brings us to a super practical way to think about it, something we can call the river and the pebble. It's all about learning how to use the friction from our mistakes to our advantage. So here's the 4-step process. Step 1, just feel it. Seriously, don't push that frustration down. Acknowledge it because it's a real and valid signal. But then, and this is key, step 2, don't wallow. This is the big difference. Acknowledging a feeling is healthy, letting it swallow you whole is not. You don't want to build a house in that negativity. Step 3, use it as a reminder. Let that sharp sting of frustration become your trigger. Instead of thinking, I'm so annoyed, train yourself to think, okay, this feeling means it's time to focus. It becomes a mental cue to switch gears. And that brings us to step 4, analyze. Now that you've used the emotion as your signal, you can step back and look at the problem like a scientist. What actually went wrong here? What can I do differently next time? You're moving from the heat of emotion to the light of analysis, from reaction to resolution. And when we start doing this, something really beautiful happens. Our mistakes, they don't just become lessons, they become a part of our strength. It's kind of like a piece of pottery that's been broken and then mended with gold, making it even more unique and more valuable than it was before. And this brings us to this powerful idea, captured perfectly in this quote. A pebble at rest looks ordinary until the river teaches it how to shine. Think about that. A smooth, untested pebble is, well, it's just a rock. The shine, the character, that all comes from the journey. And that's the whole point, isn't it? Our mistakes, our frustrations, all those repeated efforts to fix them, that is the river.
It's the friction and the tumbling that polishes us, that makes us shine, that transforms us from something ordinary into something extraordinary.
So let's end with this thought. We started with this idea of being consummate, complete in every detail. But what if the cracks from our mistakes, the ones mended with the gold of our attention and our effort, are the very details that make us complete? What if our so-called imperfections are actually the final essential ingredient to true mastery?